stadium.
Moving on to basketball, Steph Curry's shooting woes continued in last night's Game 2 loss to the Houston Rockets. Curry finished 1 for 8 from 3 and is now 2 for 13 in the series from 3. Here's Curry on his frustrating night.
Tonight, as a whole, I didn't find a rhythm early. Had some decent looks from 3 that could have changed the momentum of the game early in the first half, but for the most part, it's just a frustrating night all the way around. They made some adjustments, got other guys involved, and they made plays, and that's kind of how a series like this is going to be. Game after game, it's going to be a chess match, and tonight we just didn't make enough plays to stop the momentum in this building.
So when I asked you guys a little earlier if you thought there's a chance that maybe Steph Curry isn't 100% or slightly injured, both of you shot that down quickly, and it made sense. If you're healthy enough to get out on the court, well, then you're expected to play.
Steph's the only guy, superstar guy, that when he plays great, he's great, and when he doesn't play great, he must be hurt. I heard this in 2016. I was sick of it then.
But he is coming off an injury. It's not that this is just a random...
I get it, but they gave him ample time to come back from the injury. He also, in 2016, his first game back from the MCL, he scored 40 points. He had an NBA record, 17 overtime points, and he bellowed, "I'm back." This year, in 2018, in one of his first games back against the Pelicans, can we show America what Steph Curry did in the first quarter of one of his first games back? This doesn't strike me as the actions of an injured player. Forget the and one. How about the flex and the shimmy? If you're good, you're not injured. And he's the only guy.
Keep in mind also, he didn't say he was injured. The media's been. He didn't say.
Well, let's clear it up. Let's stop talking about it. All right, in pro sports, if you're on the field, there is no injury allotment. Oh, well, what percentage is he? Is he 75? Is he 100? Is he 90? There's no one out there 100% in any type of playoff series, being football or basketball. So we need to stop conversating about it. You're playing 35 minutes in the NBA game. I watched the videos before the game. He's healthy. He don't have no knee brace on. If he wasn't healthy, he'd be playing 15 minutes.
Sure.
All right? When you start playing 30 minutes, if you're starting the game in a championship series, there is no room to make excuses for players.
And the reason that when you say let's stop talking about it, the reason it's a storyline is the people that have the most influence on setting the narrative for the way we talk about games are the people calling the games, because they are the only commentators that everyone hears. Like, everyone's not watching this show or other shows or whatever it is.
Actually,
the people calling the games have the most influence, and C-Web and Reggie are insistent of reminding us, it's clearly not 100%, must not be 100%. Maybe the Rockets are just running him off a bunch of screens and going at him defensively and keying on him, and Chris Paul's a great defender. Maybe it's those things. Like,
everyone's taking tighter and more contested shots. Steph, just in 2 games. Let's not act like Steph is on some horrible streak. It's just been basically 2 games in this series in a championship atmosphere that they have all the intel. They know all your sets, so there's going to be less space. And also, it happens to be the best team in basketball that also happens to be one of the best defensive teams. So he shouldn't expect to get wide open looks.
And visually, when you watch the game, he's getting to the rim. It's not like he's hampered, like, oh, all he can do is take shots. He was great at getting to the rim yesterday. His jump shot is not falling. It's not an elbow injury. It's a knee injury that he dealt with earlier this season.
Let's just stop it. My Achilles is sore and I'm pushing through.
It's a weird thing
it's tight
with Steph.
I had a headache on Thursday, but I finished strong, which is good to know, and you cared about that. The Cavs host the Celtics in Game 3 of the conference finals on Saturday. Most expect, most assume, most just know LeBron will carry the team. And that includes his teammates and the coach and, well, the organization. Why the assumption? Reporter Brian Windhorst recently wrote that LeBron's teams suffer from organizational fatigue, bringing constant scrutiny and pressure on not just his teammates, but coaches and the front office. CeCe, how much of the Cavs situation is LeBron's own doing?
Well, a lot of it's LeBron's doing, because once he decided to come there wasn't a lot of people in the Cleveland organization knew he was coming. Actually, there's a story about John Calipari, the Kentucky coach. They were interviewing him to potentially take over the Cavs, but the Cavs couldn't give him an answer if LeBron was coming there. So he decided to stay at Kentucky. But less than 2 weeks later, LeBron announces that he's coming back home. So, yes, the way LeBron has situated his contracts, yes, it's hard to sustain that for a long period of time because LeBron wants to have options. And also, LeBron is going to dictate to any organization, if they don't have the type of players that he wants, that you're not going to be able to draft young players because there is no time for player development. They want to have a veteran ball club. So with a veteran ball club, all right, you know you have certain limitations. How many great defenders can you have in a veteran ball club? And you need spot-up shooters. So in the salary cap and trying to sign the guys, and do they want to play with LeBron? And LeBron's going to have certain demands as far as that. Yes, it's hard to have LeBron, but there's also some rewards. I remember traveling around with Michael Jordan. It was literally like traveling with the Beatles. It is fatiguing. It is frustrating. Even playing golf with Michael Jordan on his off day, someone drove their car on the golf course and drove the car right up to the green where we were playing golf. And we were playing golf in another country. That's the way it is. That is a part. We were. I mean, that is a part of being great, and it's a part that Jordan Clarkson, he didn't know anything about this. George Hill's been in the NBA a long time. He don't know anything about
Rodney
this.
Hood.
The only one familiar with this is JR, and he gets consumed by it. Tristan Thompson, he don't always respond well with it. And Kevin Love has never thrived being under LeBron besides being on the court
And
with
you
him.
saw Kevin Love yesterday on the podium. They did their press conference together. He didn't get asked a question.
Does LeBron bring baggage with him? Absolutely. Can he be passive aggressive? Sure. Can he really try to force the organization into win now moves? No question about it. Is it a problem every single team in the league would love to have? Of course. Like, since LeBron left Cleveland, he's played 7.5, almost 8 full seasons. We'll see what happens this year. In the 7 completed seasons, he's got 3 firsts and 4 seconds. His team has played in the last game of the year every single year. That's about all you can ask for. There's not been an organization more successful over LeBron's tenure since initially leaving Cleveland than LeBron James has been. No one has more championships. Obviously, no organization has more finals appearances. And also this idea that, oh, well, LeBron stunts the growth, the future growth of your organization. What team, other than the Spurs, over the last, 40 years, is competing for championships while also having a bright future? When Michael Jordan retired from the Bulls ultimately, the next year they were the worst team in the NBA. When Kobe's run ended in Los Angeles, they became a lottery team. We don't have a great, when the Mavericks got their title with Dirk and them, since then they've never been close again. We don't have examples of teams, guys, we're going to compete for championships right now, and the future looks amazing. Boston's trying to do it, and Boston was able to do it because of the Nets trade and some other extenuating circumstances. But they also have not yet competed for championships with this core. I don't understand what people are talking about to a degree. And the one other point I'll add is we're not even having this discussion if Kyrie doesn't ask for the trade. If Kyrie doesn't ask for the trade, you're like, we're competing for a championship.
No, we're not having the discussion now, but we might be having it a month from now.
But if Kyrie doesn't ask for the trade, don't the Cavs feel all right? We're going to build around Kyrie Irving.
Not if LeBron leaves, we're going to have this question. Because LeBron leaves them with Kyrie and what? So then we have the question, wow, the LeBron James experiment, does it leave you at a detriment? Like that, we would still have this version of the question.
But Kyrie isn't here, so so now we don't know you can't plan, a coach can't plan, and a GM can't plan, the owner, it's very hard to plan with regards to free agency, with regards to the draft. Now LeBron leaves next year, what do you have?
Well, what is that? Go ahead.
Well, that's the owner's fault. The reason why the general manager can't plan, because he just got there. Because the last general manager should have gotten extended.
Okay, so a theoretical general manager.
So when that happened, you lost the chance for LeBron James to extend or LeBron James to make a commitment. Also, the Kyrie trade, man, what about Paul George? What about, they had a chance to get Paul George. So there are some colossal mix-up. What we're saying, if you win and you happen to dominate basketball, Golden State, we don't know what's going to happen after them. San Antonio is the only team that we've seen over 20 years that's able to maintain this greatness besides New England on the NFL side. So if you win championships, is there a backlash to it? Yes, we saw the Heat when LeBron left, when Dwayne Wade left. Yes, there's nothing wrong with asking the question. Is it worth it? That should be the question. Is it worth having these struggles?
Of course it's worth it. And the only that it's jarring is because none of this would seem unfair or putting the team in a bad place if LeBron, his level of play was deteriorating. If he started to deteriorate along with D. Wade, we would have said, oh, so he goes to Miami, during their peak, they win some titles, then both guys deteriorate. D. Wade deteriorates, LeBron's like, well, now I don't have a running mate, let me go somewhere else. He then goes to Cleveland, they win a title, his running mate leaves, LeBron's still at this level, he's like, I'm going to have to go somewhere else here.
Also, don't forget what the state the team was in when LeBron signed with them. They had Kyrie, but they were one of the worst teams in the NBA. Now they're leaving. They got a banner up there. And the reason why is because that guy. So you say, is the struggle worth a banner? Yes, you've never won anything. Yes, it's worth that struggle.
If winning is the end result, then 100% yes. You take the chance.
Of course,
no matter
winning,
what.
but winning, and by the way,
the evaluation of the team went up.
Right,
like,
everything went up.
You winning at the cash register.
It seems to me, and I respect Brian Windhorst. I just don't. The idea that guys, it's really exhausting going to the finals every year. You got to book more hotel rooms. You're only getting veteran players because you're always drafting at the end of the drafts because you're one of the last two teams remaining. I mean, so much easier to just go 25 and 57 every year and get a blue chip prospect. It's silly.
All right, let's take a break. Let's talk some football on the other side. Will Dak Prescott become the greatest quarterback in Cowboys history? She asked.